Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Dana Ray here, back with another video. Thank you guys for stopping by to see what we are talking about this week. So, like, comment, subscribe, and share if you think that this video would be impactful and help someone else on their journey with Christ. So, today I am going to talk about why God isolates us, why He isolates those who are chosen, those who have chosen to walk and say yes to His will and submit to Him. I feel like I have definitely been isolated, in a season of isolation for a while now, and it just dawned on me today why the Lord felt the need to bring me across the country, away from everything that I knew, to, basically the reason why He brought me across the country. I feel like today I've not figured it out, because you're never going to figure out why everything happens, but I understand now the purpose of where I am, why it had to be here, and what He is doing or has done in me since I have been here. So if you're not sure about my story, I am from North Carolina. I am from a very small town in the northeastern portion of North Carolina, and now I live in San Francisco, California. So if you were to literally, I don't think I have, this is kind of a map here. So if you were to literally look at this map, I am from over here. And the Lord has moved me all the way across the country to over here. So this is like as far away as you can be from where I was born and raised. I'm as far away as I can possibly be and still be in the United States. And this was strategic. Like, God does not do things that are not strategic. He is very intentional about the things that He does. So being from North Carolina, I feel like I was raised very conservatively. And North Carolina can cross, as far as politics is concerned, it can be blue or a red state. Anyway, but we all know that California is a very liberal place. And where I am in San Francisco is one of the most liberal places in the world. The reason why that is important is because of the times that we are in now, as far as the virus is concerned, as far as these mandates are concerned, as far as basically our freedoms are concerned. It's very different here than where I am from. And before I even left North Carolina, I had made some decisions about some things that I was not willing to do. There were some deal breakers that I had, and I prayed about these things, and I made sure that my feelings or the way that my spirit felt about some of these issues was not out of my own emotional desire or choice, but rather it was something that God was telling me, that God was leading me, giving me wisdom about and understanding about. So the decisions that I made about how I wanted to be, how I wanted to present myself, what things I wanted to participate in and not participate in, I made those decisions before I even left North Carolina. During my walk with the Lord kind of led me into how I was going to live my life for the rest of my life. So then coming here, or finding out that I was going to be coming here in an area that I'm sure not nobody, but most people don't think like me. Most people don't have the background that I have. It's seen as, like kind of everything goes here. no one really follows rules. Like, everyone thinks one way is how it's presented to people who do not live here. So that was strategic for God to send me through somewhat of a wilderness season to build me up in Him, to stamp inside of me who I wanted to be, what things I wanted to do and not do, how I was going to show up in this space. All that stuff was stamped in me before I came here. He did that for a reason, because He already knew what I was going to have to face here. He already knew the decisions that were going to have to be made here. I want to say that He had to separate me from everybody that was familiar and from everything that was familiar, so that I can build up my faith in Him, so that I would not be able to give glory to anything or anybody else but Him, so that no one could say, hey, I had some part of that, so that no one could say, hey, she's here because of me, so that no person could hinder me or distract me from hearing His voice and doing what it is that He said. He had to move me out of my comfort zone so that I could become who it is that He wanted me to be, so that I can hear Him, because I didn't have no other choice but to hear Him, because there are no voices here. There's nobody to run to here. There's not even really anyone to get advice from here. But He kind of did that in North Carolina. I already felt isolated. I already was making decisions that weren't in agreement with what some people in my ears were saying that may have been different from what my family thought or whatever. I was already being placed into these places, and so at some points it felt like persecution. At some point it felt like it was hard. It was very hard to stand because I felt alone. But the aloneness made me stronger in my faith. It made me hear God even more clearly. He showed me things or He would tell me something, then I would experience it, and it would just confirm that what He said was correct. Like that what He led me to read or what He led me to do research on was right. And normally I would have taken the word of this person that is older than me, that I may have listened to in the past, that I may have allowed to lead me in the past. But He showed me that people, I don't care how much wisdom you think they have or how much you think they know what it is that they're talking about, He showed me to listen to Him. He showed me that what He said was right. So He proved that I can't listen to anyone else as far as the direction of my life but the Lord. He is going to tell me. I don't need somebody else to tell me what He said. Now, He does send people to confirm, but ultimately He brought me out here to make sure that I can hear His voice clearly, to make sure that I will not put any other voice in my life before His. So after being here for a while, everything has been cool or whatever. And then within the last month or so, the mandates came up, and I am just absolutely not comfortable with going through with what is being forced on us. So, and I've been made that decision before I even moved here. So I was faced with, the action of trying to put in an exemption to be exempted from getting this thing, this poke. I'm not going to say no more. You should know what I'm talking about by now. But anyway, I applied for an exemption for it. And I was going through the process with my own company and with the hospital or whatever. And my own company was like, you should, if you have a clergy member or a pastor or someone who can sign off on your exemption, it will make it better for you. Like, we suggest that you have someone else to sign off that what you're saying is legit or the truth. And I immediately responded and I was like, I don't have nobody else. I'm not a part of a church right now. I don't have anything. But a couple days prior to that, the Lord had already given me the words to write down in my exemption. He had already led me to the Bible verses to say, like, I promise you, I wrote this exemption during my lunch break in like 10 minutes. Like, because he gave me the words to say. And I literally, when people are like, what did you write? How did you know to write this? I'm like, yo, literally, the Lord had my fingers moving to say what it is I needed to say. And then when my company was like, hey, you need somebody else, or you should have somebody else, the Lord basically told me, like, I know he told me, he was like, you don't need anyone else. Like, I'm about to show you that you don't need anyone else. So I was like, I don't got nobody else. I'm going to, I was like, Lord, what day should I submit this exemption on? Like, he basically told me the day that I should submit it on. I submitted it on that day, and I prayed about it before everything. I was like, Lord, if you want me to stay, then you're going to allow this to go through. But if it doesn't go through, then that means to me that you want me to leave. You want me to go somewhere else. And I know that you are going to provide. I know that you are going to create a way of escape, because you know how I feel about this. And you know what we have discussed about this thing. And yeah, we have already come to terms with this. And I was even talking to some people about it. They're like, oh, maybe you should pray again. And I'm like, no, it's very clear what the Lord has told me about this. Now, I don't know why he may have told someone else other different things, but I know what he told me. So it's not okay with me, and I'm not doing it. So anyway, I submitted the exemption on the morning of the 17th of August. Yeah, August 17th or whatever. And I was prepared to wait for a week, because it said it may take up to a week before it gets approved. And I was prepared to wait. And 2 hours later, after I submitted, I got a response and said that my exemption was approved. That built my faith a lot, because when I tell you how things were going around here, like not being able to go eat out, all these things were coming up, and I felt very alienated. I felt like discriminated against. I felt all these things, all these emotions. And I'm like, Lord, you are the one who sent me out here in this area that you know is all the way left, and I am all the way right. And you the one sent me out here. Why would you send me out here if, blah, 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 if I had to go through all of this? Why, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, like, why would you do this to me? So this is before he was like, yo, I'm basically providing a way of escape for you. Trust me. So basically, because my exemption was approved in 2 hours with no extra help, no extra people signing anything, nothing. This is me by myself. I don't have nobody behind me. I don't have no rallying. Everybody else around me has made a different decision than what I have. It's just me and God at this point. And he actually did what he said he was going to do. That is an extreme check mark to my faith. Like, because I know what he said, and then he proved what he said, and because I stood in what it is that he told me by myself. So the Lord sent me out here to build me up for whatever is next, to further solidify that he is real, to further solidify that the things that he has said to me are coming to pass and have come to pass, to further solidify that I am not going to be moved, that my faith is unshaken, that that I know that I hear him. And as long as I obey him and submit to what it is he is telling me to do, he is going to take care of the rest. He sent me out here to be alone, to be outside of the influence of anything else. He sent me out here in a place where there's so much opportunity to do everything outside of what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So much opportunity to be doing drugs, to be drunk, to be out here thotting and bopping, to be outside of his will. There's the most opportunity ever to be outside of his will. And he brought me here to build me up, to say, what you gonna do now? What are you going to do now, little girl from small town, Bertie County in North Carolina? What are you going to do now? How are you going to stand here? So for whatever reason, well, we know the reason a little bit, whatever it is that I got to go through next, he's built me up. He has given me what I need and continues to give me what I need out here so that I can handle whatever it is that he's called me to do in the next season and for the rest of my life. So I say all of this to say, don't be afraid of the separation. Don't be afraid of the isolation. Don't be afraid of standing in what it is you know the Lord has told you to do, even when you have to stand alone. Because I say when and not if, because there are going to be some times where you are going to have to stand alone. It is a test, and a test is used for he wants you to pass the test, and you passing the test will build your faith. And you can believe even more the next time, and you will be even more unshaken, and you will have even more power against the tactics of the enemy that are going to be thrown here and there in your life for the rest of your life. And also, he's going to place people around you, strangers around you that you don't even know, that are watching your faith. And even if it feels like those people don't see you right now, even if it feels like they are probably looking at you like, ooh, like you just, they're watching you. And they're going to see, you have planted a seed, and they're going to see you years from now, or months from now, or days from now. And your faith is going to have influenced them to trust in the Lord. He places people in spaces to have influence, not to be influenced, but to have influence. He's strategic in where he sends his people. And he's strategic in the battles that you have to fight, because he is building up your faith. And before I came here, and when I was reading my word a lot, well, I always read my word a lot, but I would read the scripture about a prophet is not basically accepted in his own home or in his hometown. And what that means is, when you have changed, when you have decided to repent and go in the other direction, the people that have been around you from your past are not going to recognize you. They will not accept you. They will not accept that you are changed. They will not accept that you may see some things. They may not accept that God is speaking to you. They may not accept who you are. They will not accept who you are, and it will hurt. You will cry, and it will hurt. But the Lord says it in his word to prepare his people. Because you being accepted by old family members, new people, you being accepted by humans is not important. What you are doing, and if you are to be doing the work of the Lord, is what is most important, whether you are accepted or heard or not. Because the people who the Lord wants you to influence, the people who are placed in your path, the people who he has attached to you and your destiny, are going to hear you. They are going to see you, and they are going to respect who it is that God has called you to be. They're going to pour into you. They're not going to be jealous of you. They're not going to take from you. They're not going to try to silence you. So sometimes, even though it may be painful, you have to let go of everyone who tries to silence you when you know that the Lord told you to speak. And a lot of times he has to have his hand in moving you so that these people won't silence you and won't limit your gift and your purpose and the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Trust me, I've been through it. You don't have to, and I'm not out of here like negative, like, ooh, no. It's just the reality of what it is. When you have been called to do something, you are going to have to be set apart. You are going to lose people from your past. You are going to feel alone. You may not always have your mama. You may not always have your daddy. You may not always have your siblings. These people will not agree with you initially. These people you're going to have to block out and hear only the voice of the Lord, because he is the one who is going to influence your walk in the right direction. He is the only one who knows what it is that he has called you to do, what spaces he has called you to infiltrate. And if you allow your past to stunt you, you will not walk into the spaces that you're called to walk into. Don't be limited. Walk alone for the period of time that you have to walk alone for. Stand in what it is you know the Lord told you to do, and he will bring you out on the other side, where he will replace the people that you have lost. He will change the hearts of those who did not see you before, or sometimes maybe they don't ever see you. That's fine, but that just means that maybe at that moment you are not necessarily called to them. But for those that you are called to, they are waiting on you. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.